I figured out who we are, who we humans are. And I've dedicated my whole life to trying to understand. That's why I make art. I create sculptures to try to understand what it means to be a human. Because my whole life I felt like I'm missing something. Something has just always kind of made me a little bit uneasy. Where I looked at what people did and I felt like, that's it? That's what this life is for? People living their lives like zombies? People hating each other? You know, all that. Ooh, man, that gets you down. We're made for more. And do you know what we're made for? We're made to create. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's what it means to be a human. Everything is just too perfectly placed here to just squander. And there's people who recognize the abundant materials and they mine the hell out of it. And I mean, it's there. I think it's there for us to use. But I think that there's some stipulations. I think for us to be able to be good stewards, we've got to be able to be good stewards. We have to be able to nurture and grow. We have the capability to do it. Humanity, the intelligence that we have, is unmatched. And there's some freaking intelligent things on this planet. And many of those things interact with us in different ways that we take for granted. And so we treat life as though it's cheap. And we destroy it without thought. Because we're gods. We're the gods of this planet. We can destroy it. And we can create from it. So what are we going to do? There's something bigger than us that is guiding us. And it guides us in strange ways. It's a winding way to be a human, to find your path. And it has a lot of pitfalls. But there is so much potential in what we're capable of. So we can reach that. How do we reach that? We recognize the gift that each of us has individually. We're an ecosystem. And some of us are really good at some things and some of us are not. And some of us are good at a lot of things and some of us one thing. But we can all develop ourselves. And we can find that thing that sparks us and that makes us who we are. And we can pursue that to the building up of our communities, to the strengthening of our families, to the establishment of centers for growth and learning, just everywhere. Churches can be that. Schools can be that. The mall can be that. That's my vision. That's my vision. We have the manpower to do anything that we can imagine. We can build rocket ships. We can build atomic bombs. So, what are we going to build? What are we going to create? We can destroy all day long. We've done that. We're doing that. So let's create something different. Let's create something together as a community. And how we do that is through art. We got to start there. Science has gone so far and it's developed an artificial intelligence that in the next few years with quantum computing is going to make everything wild. We're going to have created the most intelligent thing that has ever existed, except for God. And maybe this is a manifestation of the possibilities of who we are collectively as humans. That doesn't even match and can't compare to the actual creator of everything, which I call God or the universe. But this experience here, we can choose to believe whatever we want to believe and we'll create whatever we believe. We can create hell and we can create a paradise. So my life's ambition and goal and what I'm finally recognizing is to create with other people within my community so that we can make this place a better place, and that we can end homelessness by giving people purpose and taking care of each other, that we can limit the suffering that's there. Life is suffering. You're going to go through it no matter what, but we don't have to unnecessarily do things. We have an abundance of everything. Nobody needs to lack for anything that they want. And now that we live in this stage where people are just at the brink of destruction, we need to take charge and come back to life, because so many people are dying inside while they're still alive and full of anger and hate, and it's just engineered. Like, people are engineering that because they make money off of it. More likes, more following, more ratings, you know? So we got to be able to get out of the virtual reality that we've been lost in, the isolation that we've been in, and we need to come back to each other and back to our community. And we're going to make mistakes along the way, but it's worth it. We have to. Because sitting around at home, being depressed and locked in on our TVs, watching terrible things, that's poison. We're literally just poisoning our minds. Let's have maker spaces and community centers that get people together and get fun things happening. Let's build things together. We can build cathedrals and temples everywhere. Like, that's all our ancestors did. They got past a point where they were beyond survival and they could thrive. And that's why they built places. And they still had wars and still had terrible things, but here we are, the next stage of humanity. So what are we going to do? Are we going to follow certain patterns that worked or not? Like, we can just dedicate ourselves to something amazing. We can build something beautiful, and we need that. We're hungry for it, aren't we? I am. And I figured it out. I got the ideas, you know, but I need to be with the people who can make the change. The visionaries and the leaders who can recognize, and the people with the backing, you know, the money to back it up. Like Jeff Bezos, freaking rich dude. That's so freaking awesome for you. And I think we can benefit from that because you're benefiting from us, you know, like, you're giving us a service and we're giving you our money for it. I use Amazon all the time, and I get stuff from all over the world that I needed for my business, for my art. So I'm appreciative of these guys, you know, and ladies, all these rich people who have amassed their wealth, I think, for the ultimate purpose to benefit humanity. And so, like, yeah, we get super down on things when we're bummed out by, you know, the disparity that we see when there's like very, very terrible things happening and people going in rocket ships, you know, into space. But what if you can go ahead and do those cool things too and help build the community? You know, like, fund and back my team of artists, and we'll just build like tons of amazing things that will make this whole state and nation amazing. We have enough people to transform every community into something amazing, step by step, like one step at a time. And this is a big, ambitious thing I'm talking about, but like, somebody built Florence, Italy. Somebody built Mexico. Like, all these places have the evidence. It's all there. It's all pointing us to come back to it, and to build something amazing. You can choose destruction or creation.